Hey guys, how you doing? Ron Raymond here from the Raymond Report with your MLB Baseball preview and prediction for Friday. It is April 7th. Hope you're having yourself a good start to your friendly Friday. As always, don't forget, subscribe to our channel by tapping that notification bell in the top right-hand corner or hit the subscribe button below this video if you're using a mobile device. Today's podcast is brought to you by your good friends right here at bullpenpicks.com. Sign up today and get your baseball picks tracked and monitored each and every day right here at bullpenpicks.com. I'm hitting 58% since opening day of all the 96 games in the books. I'm 56 out of 96 games won, so you can follow my picks right here at bullpenpicks.com. Once you get there, you can go look at the top scores or most followed, and or do a search for Ron Raymond, and you can find my picks, and you can track my picks each and every day. I go in, I make my selections, and then you can follow those picks right here at bullpenpicks.com. All right, let's take a look at the Major League Baseball financials over the last couple of days. In fact, it's been a pretty heavy favorite day the last 2 days. 5-1 yesterday on Thursday. On Wednesday, 9-3. Looking at the 3-day average, 67% of the favorites have cashed in the last 3 days, 59.3 since opening day. And if you're betting baseball totals, the over has been doing very well the last couple of days. 63.7% yesterday, 57.7% since opening day. So we're in a bullish market right now when it comes to overs. So as I always say, once what goes up must come down. So if we're in a bullish market for the overs, keeping an eye for the unders, and the only person who can really control that is the bookmakers, because they had the equalizer and they can post the number that they want on the total to bring it back to close to 50%. But it's still early in the season. We'll see. We'll give it another couple of days to see if this continues to rise. All right, let's get to your Major League Baseball action today. 14 games on deck today. I think Boston, Detroit get the day off, and we'll kick it off at Citi Field. This game was postponed yesterday, and we're looking at the New York Mets taking on the Marlins. Now, the Mets, they are now currently on a 3-game win streak, 3-4 on the season, and when you look at the Marlins, they are 3-4 also. Strength of schedule, 53.06%, so New York Mets as well, 60.2%. That just means the teams they faced the last since day one, have all got a winning percentage record of 60.2. So both these teams coming in battle tested today. Edward Cabrera going to go for the Marlins, go up against Tyler McGill and McGill. Hey, better call Sal. Sounds like a lawyer's office, right? Tyler McGill and McGill. But looking at the financials, minus 185 is the line on the Mets. 7.5 is the total. And we're going to lean with the New York Mets here. 4.7 to 3.9, the over-under at 8.66. We're going to give New York a 59.6% chance of winning. And looking at the Marlins, their chance of winning is at 39.3. And they're coming off a 5-2 win over Minnesota in their last game. While the Mets, they got smoked in Milwaukee on a 3-game series. All right, let's take a look at Wrigley Field today. The Cubs hosting the Texas Rangers. The first pitch at 2:20 at Wrigley, and the Chicago Cubs 2-3 on the season. Texas 4-2, off to a good start. All those trades or those acquisitions during the offseason are really paying off in the short term. And looking at the Cubs today, minus 125 is the line, 7 is the total. That seems like a very low total. Let's see who's pitching. Marcus Stroman, Nathan Eovaldi. So if that total's 7, that tells me the wind's blowing in at Wrigley, and I'll have to do a double check on that. See if maybe sometimes at Wrigley you got to go check the line feed, make sure there's not a mistake on the total. But we got the Cubbies winning today, 3.7 to 3.3. The over/under landing on 7.17. Chance of winning at 57%. Last 3 games for the Cubs have gone over the total, and their strength of schedule since the beginning of the season, 74%. Yeah, they're coming in battle tested, where Texas 33. It's important to look at the strength of schedule, right? Because you want to see in the short-term cycle how that team is doing, and if they're beating the beatables or if they're playing those top teams, right? New York Yankees taking on the Baltimore Orioles at Camden Yards here today. First pitch, 3:05 Eastern. The Yankees off a 4-2 win over the Phillies, while Baltimore lost to Texas 5-2. And the financials have the Yankees at minus 130, 8.5 is the total, and we're going to go with the Bronx Bombers, 4.6 to 4.2, the over-under at 8.92. But keep in mind, this Baltimore team is a very scrappy team. I'm really high on the Orioles this year. I think they're going to be one of those sleeper teams you want to bet on early. And looking at their record, 3-3, 54% strength of schedule, while the Yankees, 4-2, 33.3 strength of schedule. And we do like the Yankees here today. Yankees' last 2 games have gone under the total. Cincinnati Reds taking on the Philadelphia Phillies. Now, the Phillies going to send Zach Wheeler to the hill against Shane Green for the Cincinnati Reds. Now, the Reds 3-2 on the year. Phillies went to the World Series last year and not the start that they were anticipating. 1-5 to start the campaign. Strength of schedule, though, there's your answer, 66.6%. And the financials, minus 200. 7 is the total. And we do like the Phillies here to pull the win. 4.2 to 2.7, the over-under at 7. And the last two games for the Phillies have gone under the total. And your Kogo in this game is at 48%. Kogo stands for chance of game going over the total. All right, should be a good one today at Progressive Field between the Guardians and the Seattle Mariners. Now, minus 125 is the line, 7 is the total. Logan Gilbert going to toe the rubber here for the Mariners up against Aaron Savali of the Cleveland Guardians. And the Guardians' last 4 games have gone over the total. And when you look at the Seattle Mariners, they are 2-5 on the campaign against 5-2 for the Guardians. I had the Guardians winning the AL Central this year, so we'll see if that futures ticket pays off. Looking good early, but hey, it's they haven't even got to the quarter post yet, right? And a little horse racing reference there. You gotta promote the funny line. If you like horse racing, go check out our site. We got a good article each and every day. Hey, a little plug in there for the horse racing guys. 41.07% chance winning here on the Guardians. 53.5 for the Mariners, and we do like Logan Gilbert and the Mariners in the upset. 4.1 to 3.2, the over-under at 7.3. Look at their strength of schedule, 69% for the Mariners. Houston Astros taking on the Minnesota Twins, and the Astros looking at sending Jose Urquidy to the hill against Sonny Gray. Now, this game was rained out yesterday. Minus 125 is the line, 7.5 is the total, and we're going to lean with the Twinkies in this one. 4.2 to 3.8, the over-under at 8.09. 54.5% chance of winning on Minnesota, who are 4-2 on the season. Houston Astros 3-4, but guess what? 6 of their 7 games this year have gone over the total, so we'll see if that continues. Strength of schedule, very low for both these teams. 28.5 for Minnesota, 36.7 for the Houston Astros. Chicago White Sox taking on the Pittsburgh Pirates. Now, the Pirates coming off a 4-1 win over Boston. Pittsburgh off to a good start, 4-2 on the season. While the White Sox, they got smoked yesterday by 2 touchdowns by, I don't know if it was the 49ers or the Giants who came to town. But yeah, 16-6 was the final. That's a football score. And Lucas Giolito going to see if he can stop the bleeding from yesterday up against Philip Valdez of the Bucks. And we're going to lean here with the Chi Sox. 4.7 to 4.2, the over-under at 9.01. The chance of winning, though, very tight for both these teams. 47.3, 46.8 for Chicago. And as I said, the last 6 have gone over for the White Sox. And the last 2 games have gone under for the Pirates. And they're now riding a 3-game high. Kansas City taking on the San Francisco Giants. And Kansas City just glad Toronto's out of town because they lost 3 of 4 to the Blue Jays. Now they're riding a 3-game losing streak. And for the Giants, minus 192 is the line, 8 is the total. And we're going to lean with Alex Cobb and the Giants over Brad Keller and the Royals. 4.8 to 3.2, the over-under, landing on 8.17, so we do like this game to go over the total. The last 3 games for the Giants have gone over. Strength of schedule, 54.7. San Fran, 3-3 on the year. Kansas City, 1-6. Oakland taking on the Tampa Bay Rays, those hot Tampa Bay Rays. In fact, the Rays haven't lost a game yet this year. I think they're the only team that hasn't lost a game. They are 6-0 on the year, but look at their strength of schedule, right? 21.4, one of the lowest in the bigs, and looking at minus 230 on the financials. 7.5 is the total, and we're going to lean with Tampa in this one, 4.3, 2.63, and looking at the first pitch today at Tropicana, 6:40 Eastern, and the last 3 games for the A's have gone over the total, while the Rays, again, on a 6-game win streak. And the Kogo, very low, 19%. Kogo stands for chance of game going over the total. What a game last night in Atlanta. It was 6-4 for the Padres. The Braves tied it back in the 9th, and then they went to extra innings, and a nice win for the Atlanta Braves. Minus 130 is the line, 9 is the total, and we're going to lean with Jared Schuster and the Atlanta Braves over Carlos Martinez and the Padres. 4.3 to 4.2, the over-under at 8.55, so we do like it to stay under total. Atlanta coming in on a 4-game win streak, while the last 3 games for the Padres have gone over the total. Padres 3-4 in a year, while Atlanta 6-1. Strength of schedule, though, just like Tampa Bay, a bit low at 26.5 compared to 48.9 for the Padres. St. Louis Cardinals taking on the Milwaukee Brewers. The Brewers riding a 5-game win streak. In fact, they swept the New York Mets in their series at home. Today, they send Brandon Woodruff to the hill against Jack Flaherty, the old veteran for the St. Louis Cardinals. The Cardinals coming in on a 3-game losing streak. And looking at the financials here, minus 162 is the line, 8 is the total, and we're going to lean with the Brewer Crew in this one. 4.6 to 3.4, the over-under at 8. And the strength of schedule, both these teams, 71.4% for the Cardinals. So, man, they're coming in with a 2-4 record, but that strength of schedule tells you why they are struggling. So maybe you got some value today here on the cards. Keep an eye out. You know what? The division rivalry. So we'll see if this pans out for the St. Louis Cardinals. Colorado Rockies taking on the Washington Nationals. Now the Nats looking at a 1-0 loss yesterday against the Rockies. They're on a 4-game lose streak, 1-6 on the season. Colorado 3-4. Jose Urena going to start here against Mackenzie Gore of the Washington Nationals. And we're going to go with the Rockies in this one. 5.4 to 5.1, the over-under at 10.59. So we do like it to stay under the total of 11. 54% chance of winning here today for the Rockies. 36.9 for the Nationals. Toronto Blue Jays taking on the LA Angels. Now the Angels, looking at their last game, a 4-3 win over the Seattle Mariners. Patrick Sandoval going up against Chris Bassett, who got rocked pretty heavily in his first game for the Toronto Blue. I think that was against Kansas City as well. And looking at the line, minus 130, 9 is the total. And we're going to go with the Blue Jays in this one, 5.01, 3.9, the over-under at 9. And looking at the Toronto Blue Jays' chance of winning, 57.1%. And they're on a 3-game win streak. And for the LA Angels, they're going to send Patrick Sandoval. They are 4-2 on the season. Yeah, I don't think Bassett played. Now, hey, one thing with me, every time I get on these, I'm trying to think who their first series was, but I know they got rocked. Chris Bassett got rocked last year. I can't remember the team he played. I think it might have been Kansas City. If not, it was the series prior to that. But yeah, it wasn't a good start for Bassett. I'll put it that way. But today we do like the Blue Jays, 5.01 to 3.9, the over/under to land on 9. And you know what? I'll go get that in a second because now it's bothering me. LA Dodgers taking on the Arizona Diamondbacks. Minus 225 is the line. 9 is the total. And looking at the Dodger Blue here, they are 5-2 on the year, riding a 3-game win streak. While Arizona, they lost last night to the Dodgers 5-2. They're going to send Madison Bumgarner here against Clayton Kershaw. A couple of veterans going out of here today, so it will be interesting to see what the totals. Total's 9, and we got 8.98, but we do got the Dodgers winning here. But yeah, you know what? When you got 2 veterans like that going, we'll see if the total comes into play. And 60.3% chance of winning here for the Dodger Blue. All right, let me go get that stat on the Blue Jay Chris Bassett because it's I won't be able to sleep at night if I don't get it right. Just kidding. All right, let's see here. Down here, let's go. This is the Raymond Report, by the way, what you're seeing on the sheet there in a few seconds. And if you're interested, you can get the Raymond Report right here at atsstats.com. Yeah, St. Louis. I think it was St. Louis. There it is. Yeah, 9-4 against Jordan Montgomery and the Cardinals. There, now you can sleep better at night. All right, so can you, right? You can get the Raymond Report, again, each and every day right here at atsstats.com. And let's get to one of our fan favorites is the 80% Club stats here at the website. And the way you get the 80% Club stats, so you go to your dashboard. And once you go to your dashboard, go to Ron's favorites, go to 80% Club, go to MLB. And there you have those top 80% clubs or higher stats, right? And I'll give you some here right now. The Guardians, 9-1 as a home team when their last 4 games have gone over the total the last 5 years. That's good for 90%. Again, some of these stats don't have a lot of occurrences because they're situational stats and they don't happen every day, right? So when the Guardians, home team, last 4 have gone over, it's only happened 10 times and it's hit 90% the last 5 years. The Blue Jays, 15-2 as an away team coming off a 3-run win. Oh, I'll say that 3 times, sound like Elmer Fudd. A 3-run win the last 3 years for 88.2%. But Blue Jays don't have a history of doing well on the West Coast, so we'll see how that pans out. But I looked at their record prior to this one against the Angels in the last 10 in LA, 6-4, so it's not too bad. But yeah, Bassett's going here. That's the only thing that's scaring me off that game. And looking at the Blue Jays again, so you can see last 3, 2, 4. So last 4 years, Blue Jays 18-3 as the away team coming off a 3-run win. Cubs 10-2 at Wrigley coming off the last 3 games that gone over the total, 83%. The Brew Crew up against St. Louis. Hey, Flaherty, that's a good matchup right there. 15-3 as a home team coming off a game where they scored exactly 7 runs for the last 2 years, 83%. San Francisco 9-2 as a home team coming off 3 overs last 3 years, and last 5 years they are 13-3. So there you have it. That is the 80% Club stats provided by atsstats.com. Don't forget, folks, I'm going to put in my picks here today. You can get my picks each and every day at bullpenpicks.com. And come and make your picks, or you can just track mine And it's a good way to do it too, right? You can look at other people's picks. People have done very well, and you can track their picks and go to your following right here, and you can see the picks, and they'll be listed right here at bullpenpicks.com. All right, folks, have yourself a great rest of your Good Friday, and I'll see you back here on a Super Saturday, April 8th, and we'll go through another round of Major League Baseball. Cheers.